don't want to, but I guess I have to. Hello and welcome to Be Happy Few, Uncle Jack Alive, VO, sweet Jesus. I can't really push that. My couch is in the way. I'm sitting down.
That sounds like the ventilator's a bit off.
Oh.
It sent a lovely whiff of joy into the air.
Oh.
Sorry about the telly in there. People keep stepping on the cable. Oh, we're back again. Hello there. You must be the winner of the Uncle Jack Fan Club's Get to Know Jack contest.
I don't know even what that is.
Well, the bobbies at the front door have been very sloppy indeed.
Why are my hands so sweaty?
I'm Jack, and I'm always happy to meet my fans, especially if they can help me. Over on your right, you'll see the news feeding machine. That's how you feed me the news stories I'm supposed to read. To your right. Your right.
There?
You'll see 3 news stories to choose from. Do try to give me a happy one, won't you? Sometimes the writers get a little mischievous. You can only feed me news after I finish reading the preview. The machine will light up to tell you when to send me more. Isn't technology wonderful?
I hope that one was happy enough for you.
You'll have to wait for me to finish the story I'm reading before you send me another one.
I don't know what Gibbon or crackpot is. Probably something not good. I'm probably gonna get demonetized for saying it, but...
Oh, splendid. I'm sure you'll do a smashing job producing my show today.
Did I do good, Uncle Jack?
Fortunately, all the news in Wellington Wells is good.
I've never played We Happy Few. Oh, well, it is free on PSVR, so if you like We Happy Few and you have a VR headset, this might be the game for you. Oh, God. Wakey Wakey Fan Edition!
And now it's time for the Good News Hour with Uncle Jack.
You look fake.
That's me, Jack Worthing. I'll give you all the news you need to start your afternoon with a smile. How long have we Wellies enjoyed joy? 10, 12 years? It seems Hamelin amateur historian E.B. Gibbon now claims that a form of joy came to England with the Norman conquest in 1066. Always scribble, 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 eh, Mr. Gibbon? Well, Mr. Gibbon identifies several joy capsules in the Bayeux Tapestry. However, other scholars maintain that they are merely commas. Well, despite not having been able to convince
I'm going to listen to him this run,
Tower,
and then do the exact
Gibbon
opposite next
remains
run.
optimistic, and of course, very happy indeed.
1984?
Have you ever wondered what life will be like in the future? Well, the Department of Science and Research is mounting a free exhibition that imagines
Oh
what
God, I have
Wellington
nobody. I'm
Wells
just a
will be
pair
like
of flying
20
hands.
years in the future, called the House of the Future.
He said future like
Scientists
5
dreamt up some
times, or like
wonderful
3.
inventions, and apparently there will be rides and cake.
Cake! I like cake.
Why, 1984. Gosh, it's hard to imagine that 1984 will be anything like the Wellington Wells of today.
Wait, this takes place before 1984?
But I do hope I'll still be on your telly.
Oh wait, okay, wait. Can I pause this? I should probably mute my TV so it doesn't echo. Let me do that. Okay, I muted my TV so it won't echo for you guys.
Next card.
Is Islands on the Move?
Anytime.
Now let me push.
Ooh, lovely. The Geological Society has awarded its highest honor to Charles Hutton Lyell for his recent discoveries on seismology. For years, the citizens of Wellington Wells have complained that they become lost as familiar landmarks appear in unexpected places. And here I thought it was just me forgetting where everything was. His new research proves that this phenomenon is not at all in your head. Our city happens to be located in an area of unusual seismic activity.
Oh,
things really
is that?
do
Oh, is that
move
true
around.
now?
What a special place we live in, eh? Perseverance makes honor bright. Next card, please. Come on.
The
Waiting.
Mary Wives. What did I just do?
Ah. Sorry about that. I think someone must have accidentally turned a knob that they shouldn't have. We had to find the right one. Yes.
Don't look at me.
Speaking of finding things, it's mushroom hunting season again. I just adore mushroom. Don't you? Especially in a stew. Yum. Of course, you have to look out for the mushrooms that make the world seem psychedelic and strange. Those mushrooms are far too good for any old stew. But do tune in to Cooking with Jack for new stew recipes.
Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh.
Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time.
Oh.
Yes. Well, and none too soon for our producer today. Well, I suppose not everybody can be even slightly competent, can they? Perhaps they can come back an opposite day, since they do everything exactly the opposite of what they're supposed to do. Ha ha ha! Goodbye and good luck. You'll need it. Yes.
No, let me leave. Let me leave. Yes. I did what you asked. I did nothing wrong. I don't know what I did. I'm sorry I had to chicken out of that, but it's a big old nope in my... Let's just go here. Oh. Ooh. Wakey, eggs and bakey. Oh dear God.
And it's another fabulous day in Wellington Wells.
No.
The sun is out.
Oh my. Nope. Oh. Keep getting notification noises. I don't like that. Me no likey that. Humor hour. I would like some laughs. Oh. Use key to unlock. Ooh.
Hello.
Ooh.
Welcome to today's edition of Humor Hour, the show where
I have a
you
lot of stuff.
tell me jokes. Well, actually,
Sorry.
but you send them in. And the first joke comes from Mr. Prentice
I
Gibson
have a lot of
of
them.
Clapperton Town.
Is it you? I don't. Simon says.
Gibson says, what do you call... what do you call 3 downers at the bottom of the sea?
What?
Not enough downers.
Oh my.
Very good. We're starting off very strong today, aren't we? This one is from Bryony Ditton of Collier's Lane.
What exactly do you have to do to get a key? Does anyone know that? I would like to know.
What's the difference between a downer and a trampoline? You take off your shoes before you jump on a trampoline. How true.
I was trying to find the
How
one I
very
unlocked.
true.
There it is.
You don't want to damage a perfectly good trampoline, do you?
Gameplay trailer.
Very good indeed.
Don't know why I do that if I'm probably never gonna get this game.
This is from Mrs. Jemima Hughes of Coronation Avenue.
Oh, that's a lovely name. Street name.
And her joke is, if you see a drowning downer, what do you throw him?
What?
I don't know, a brick.
An anvil? Well, no, you can't very well throw an anvil, can you? What about a grenade? No. Who has grenades these days? Answer, another downer!
Dude!
It was good. That's wonderful.
Oh, I need to watch 5 things.
They both drowned.
Oh my god!
That is another one.
Dude, you can't
how
say
do you
that.
save a drowning downer? Answer, who cares? Very good. Lovely jokes. Lovely jokes today. Very funny indeed.
Oh,
Here's one
cables.
Not that one, no, this one here. It's from Clive Pritchard of Sladebrook Road. Mr. Pritchard, what do you have for us today? Question. How is a puppy like a mortally wounded downer?
What?
Answer, eventually they'll both stop whining. Oh, Mr. Pritchard.
I feel like the lights just dimmed a little. I'm like paranoid right now.
Oh. You know, I miss my dog. What am I saying? I don't miss anything at all. I've got it all right here. Ah. Let's see what else we've got.
Oh, that.
Ah, yes, we have something from...
Is that the happy
dear
pills
friend
I've heard
and
so much
faithful
about?
contributor, Mr. Persky Blackyan. Yes, as you can tell from his name, Mr. Blackyan isn't actually a real Englishman. He's an Afrikaner from South Africa, but he's doing his patriotic best to fit in.
You can't see that.
Blackyan. Question: how is a downer like an apple?
How?
Answer: they both look good hanging from a tree. I'm not sure I get it. Oh, I see. Yes, very good.
No, it's not. It's not good at all.
Hanging from a tree.
Please stop. I'm
Here's
sorry
another
this is
one.
boring,
What's
but it's
the
not
difference
for me.
between a
Not in the
downer
slightest.
and a black plague? Well, one is a deadly organism that can destroy an entire city, and the other is a bacterium. Oh, very good. Well, I think it's going to be hard to top that one, but we must slot.
Oh, no, don't like that face. News hour. I'm sorry, it wouldn't let me unpause it, so I started freaking
Everyone
out.
is talking about the shocking thing that happened yesterday. You know what I'm talking about? I
No,
have it on good authority that it was not at all what you might have thought it was.
I don't even know what it
In the
is.
event, the responsible parties are taking steps to make sure it never happens again. In the meantime, keep calm and carry on. And don't forget to take your joy. And the weather report is rain, rain, go away, come back again some other day. Remember, gentlemen, while rainwater goes down smooth in a whiskey, it does not contain joy. So, if you like to collect rainwater for tempering your constitutional, please remember to adjust your dose accordingly. And the weather is delightfully sunny, inside and out. Who doesn't love an English spring? I expect to see nothing but smiles out there.
Oh, you're
In
not
fact,
gonna get any
anything but
big. I'm
smiles out
sorry
there
to
is
say, but
strictly
you're
forbidden.
not gonna get many
Also,
smiles.
extremely unlikely, unless someone's
You're at
happy
least not
face
going to get
falls
any
off.
smiles from the people watching this.
Can you imagine that? Better
Thank you
make
for
sure it's
Wakey
not
Wakey
you.
too. Nope, that's well. Maybe it's over here.
In case you might have heard a loud explosion coming from the general direction of the Victory Memorial Camp, don't worry. It wasn't someone blowing themselves up on the minefield. It was merely the members of the Home Army testing their ordnance. Mortar shells apparently don't last
Don't
forever.
lean back. That's a bad
Nothing more
idea.
frustrating than dropping a shell on the enemy and it turning out to be a dud. So they must regularly test their supplies. That's all it was. No fatalities at all, and no worries. You may have noticed one of our favorite shops boarded up. There's no need to worry. We're told the proprietor, you know who I'm talking about, is renovating, and he doesn't want anyone to see it until it's done. At least that's what he says. I suspect he may simply have gone
I
on
just want to
holiday
play I
and
Expect You to
doesn't want
Die,
you to
man.
know.
I want
So if
this.
you notice a certain person comes back to work looking remarkably well rested, We'll know the truth,
Oh,
won't we?
nighty-night. That sounds lovely. I bet it's not. Nope, I just put in the exact same thing.
Everyone is talking about...
There we go.
Well, it's getting late, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's time for all good wellies to cuddle up in bed.
Okay.
You don't want to be out after dark, do you? Foggy Jack might come for you.
I'm gonna just...
And then where would you be? In several places at once, wouldn't you?
I don't like you.
Would you like me to read you a bedtime story?
Please, God,
Of
no.
course you would. Well, curl up in front of the telly, and Uncle Jack.
Who calls a TV a telly? Well, I guess this does take place before 1965 or whatever it was.
Tonight's story is called Hansel and Gretel.
Oh, I know that song. Wow.
Once upon a time, there lived a poor woodcutter and his wife and his two aged parents. The old man's name was Hansel, and the old woman's name was Gretel.
Oh, they're all...
There was little to eat, and when a hard winter came across the land, so hard that the wolves prowled the crossroads at night, the woodcutter could no longer feed his parents.
Oh.
He lay in bed with his wife, and they discussed what to do. The woodcutter's wife said, "Here's what we do, Liebling. We will lead them deep into the woods, yeah? To gather the firewood, okay? And then we will trick them, and we will leave them there. And natürlich, there will be enough bread for the both of us." For you see, they were not her parents, and they didn't particularly like her. Now, at first, the woodcutter said, "Well, I don't know, maybe I should leave you in the woods instead." But his wife said, "Oh, it's a funny man. No, they're old, and they do not work anymore, okay?"
Accent?
The woodcutter had to admit, she had a point. What the woodcutter did not know was that his parents had overheard the entire conversation,
Oh, no.
for they had very good hearing for old people, and they'd not been sleeping well. And Hansel said to Gretel, "Our son's going to leave us in the woods to starve. What shall we do?" Gretel said, "Let us gather bright pebbles by the light of the moon." The next day at dawn, the woodcutter and his wife led his parents deep, deep into the woods, deeper than they'd ever gone to cut firewood. The wife made a fire for them and said, "Rest by the fire while we chop some wood." And soon enough, they heard the sound of chopping. Hansel and Gretel thought perhaps their son had not left them after all. But late in the evening, the wind died down, and so did the sound of chopping.
Oh.
For it was only a branch that the woodcutter had rigged to bang against a tree in the wind. But Hansel and Gretel, they dropped bright pebbles all along the path into the woods, and they were able to follow them.
There's no film in
all the way
this.
back to the woodcutter's house, which had been their house when they raised him. When they came to the door, the woodcutter's wife, well, she was alarmed to see them. "You wicked people! Your son has been crying ever since you left him. He thought you did not want to come back." That night the woodcutter told his wife, "It's a gift from God. We don't have to leave my parents in the woods after all." "Oh, you fool! Idiot!" said the woodcutter's wife. "Do we have more bread heute Abend than we did yesterday?"
Could you stab it with that
And
accent?
The woodcutter had already agreed once to abandon his parents, so he didn't really have a leg to stand on, did he?
No, I guess
So
not.
he agreed to lead them out into the woods the next morning. That night, Hansel went to gather bright pebbles by the light of the moon. But the woodcutter's wife had locked the door, so he couldn't gather any. In the morning, Hansel begged his son for a crust of bread to eat on the forest path, but he did not eat it. Instead, as his son led him deep into the woods, he broke off small bits and dropped them on the forest path. All along the way, Hansel spoke to his son of happier days, when they both had been young and the land was fat.
I don't remember
He was hoping
this
to
part of
soften
the
his son's
story.
heart. And the woodcutter, Well, he smiled and nodded. But when you're going to kill a man, it costs nothing to be polite. And again, the woodcutter's wife made them a fire,
Crap.
made them lie down and rest by it, while the woodcutter and his wife went into the forest to chop wood.
Gameplay trailer. Sure.
But they heard no branch banging against a tree, for the time was past for pretenses. Hansel said to Gretel, "Let us find our way home before night falls, because it's very cold and they're not coming back for us." And I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. We'll have to continue this delightful story tomorrow night. Did Hansel and Gretel find their way home? And did the woodcutter welcome them back? And did they all live happily ever after? I hope not. What kind of fairy tale do you think this is? Tune in tomorrow to find out.
Wait, hold on.
Wakey, wakey, everyone. It's another fabulous day in Wellington Wells. It's your dear friend, Uncle Jack, with a few brief tips of...
And now it's time for I Hear You, the part of our show where Jack Worthing, that's me, answers your letters and questions about our life in Wellington Wells.
Cool.
And my first letter is from Mrs. Emily Cluley of Falkland Road. Dear Uncle Jack, I adore your show and thank you for answering my question. I have a big Victorian bed that my husband inherited from his grandmum, but most nights he crawls off to sleep in the small bedroom in the small bed we have there. He promises that it's not because I snore, but he won't say why he does, and I'm not sure he even knows. He seems a little sad. What should I do? Dear Emily, may I call you Emily? Your letter is quite touching. You know the answer, don't you? Yes. You see, if he seems a little sad, there's only one possible answer. He's off his joy a bit, isn't he? Yes. You must encourage him to take his pills, even if he seems a bit defiant. Take him to a doctor. There's no sense in sleeping in a rickety little bed in a small room when you can sleep in a proper English bed in a proper master bedroom. And quite frankly, even if he did snore, if he's taking his joy, then he should sleep soundly regardless. Just make sure he falls asleep before you do, and you both should be fine. Thank you for writing, Emily, and do keep me posted about your progress. Well, that's a bit of a dreary letter, wasn't it? I'm sorry. Forget I read it, will you? Let's take a look at another one, shall we? This one is from Mrs. Purdy Robbins Handley of Oldfield Park.
Okay.
Dear Uncle Jack, my husband won't take off his happy face at home. He won't even take it off in bed. He's that healthy. He says he has nightmares if he takes it off, but it's a little creepy in it. She actually wrote in it. And she says, I mean, he could be anyone. Well, Purdy, are you sure he actually is your husband?
Nope. I don't even know what I just put in.
Every now and then, you might see someone who seems to be sleeping on the path or even in the middle of the road. Now, we all know that the middle of the road is not...
There we go. Didn't work this time. I can unlock anything.
You might see someone who seems to be sleeping on the path or even in the middle of the road. Now, we all know that the middle of the road is not the most comfortable place to sleep, and it's rather inconvenient for the rest of us. We might trip on them. So, what's going on?
Everyone knows he's dead.
The first thing to find out is if they're sleeping or if they're just lying there. Are their eyes open? If you shake them, do they make sounds? Let's suppose
Are they breathing?
And they seem responsive to you. There's a possibility that they're feeling too sad to get up. In that case, you're dealing with a downer. And we all know what to do with a downer, don't we?
No.
Offer them joy. If they won't take it, Round up a few people near you and make sure they take it.
Oh!
If their eyes are closed, but they seem responsive, then they may be sick. It's probably best to prop them up in a building and let a doctor know. You don't want to spend too much time with a sick person. You might get sick too. And doctors know just what to do with sick people, after all. And you don't.
Should I do this one?
But
Yeah.
what to do if they don't respond? It's possible that they've passed on. Now, there's no need for you to deal with a dead body on the street. The authorities are fully capable of dealing
Let's
with
find
any
out.
deceased citizens.
I
who are
don't
properly
like you.
disposed of
Can
their
you
affairs.
not be in this? Nope.
Definitely not.
Oh! Department of Science and Vexio
Have you ever
Researches.
wondered what life will be
How
like
lovely.
20 years into the future? That would be the year 1984. Yes, it sounds like a very long way away, doesn't it? But 1984 may be closer than you think. At the Wellington Wells House of the Future, you can imagine yourself in
time does this
1984
take place
with
in?
machines who clean your
Is this
house
during
right
the Great
now.
Depression?
That'll make the
You
life
know,
happy,
everyone's
won't it?
really happy.
We'll also have pills that replace food. So you'll
What's the
never have to
original
eat again.
announcement? Oh, it's a trailer. Oh, okay.
Wakey, wakey, everyone.
Shut
It's
up.
another
It's like
fabulous day
2 in the
Wellington
afternoon.
Wells. The weather is only slightly rainy with streaks of lovely sunshine.
Oh, that's
Everyone in
cool.
Wellington Wells is doing exactly what
Don't look
he
at
or
me.
she ought
Oh,
to.
stop staring at me.
Smiling and
Oh,
laughing
go.
and
Oh,
taking
I
their
don't like.
joy.
Go away.
What about
You. That's right. I'm talking to you. Are you doing what you should?
Yeah, it's totally. Oh, why does he have a wrench? Oh, God. Oh, it's locked. Oh, dear. Oh, my God. Nope, let me in, let me in.
Now, some people have asked me what to do about the happy, excited throngs running through the streets.
What you should do is
Join the fun!
I don't want to ever play this. Oh, customs. Sounds interesting.
And now it's time for Funny Old Customs, the show in which Jack Worthing, that's me, illuminates our jolly island's ancient customs. Today, we're going to talk about human sacrifice. Yes,
Wait,
many of our
hold on.
forebears enjoyed
Jack, give me a
human
minute.
sacrifice or two. And I'm not just talking about watching a good hanging, like we did during the... Never mind, sometimes I don't even know what I'm talking about. Well, the most famous British sacrifices were the ancient Celts. According to Julius Caesar, their druids liked to put criminals and prisoners of war into giant wicker men and then set them on fire. Wow, what a sight that must have been. And if you don't think we can trust the Romans, then how about the bog bodies?
What?
Yes, we found beautifully preserved bodies in peat marshes, and some of them show evidence of having been strangled, drowned, and stabbed to death. That's how you propitiate a god, eh? Makes you wonder if anybody's buried under Stonehenge, eh? And if they are, who's under our own little henge, the wedding party stones? Maybe someone should check.
Is someone under me?
Of course, all this was before we Anglo-Saxons became an island race. Back then, we were pagans and worshipped dark gods. The darkest and most important of the gods was Wotan.
Who?
As the Vikings called him, Odin.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
a war god. Well, perhaps he still is a war god. And the Vikings would sacrifice 99 men and women in a great blot to make sure he stayed happy. That's a long way from Abraham and Isaac, isn't it? Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Maybe someday we'll talk about the ancient Aztecs of Mexico.
I
Who
want
liked
to
to cut
do
a man's
more
heart
ancient
out while it was
customs.
still beating. Fortunately, no one does it anymore, as far as I know.
Nighty
Well, you never
night.
know what goes on in the garden district, do you? At least, I hope you don't. Well, remember me in your prayers, whoever...
Wait. Am I gonna regret this?
Well, it's getting late, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's time for all good citizens to hop into bed for the night. Would you like me to read you a bedtime story? Of course you would. I haven't finished the story of Hansel and Gretel. Well, snuggle up by your telly or radio, and I'll tell you how it ends.
How does it end?
When we left Hansel and Gretel, their son had just abandoned them in the woods for the second time. But Hansel and
Wait,
Gretel
this is
had cleverly
99.8.
left a trail of breadcrumbs for them to find their way back. But it was a very hard winter, and starving birds had already pecked up all of the breadcrumbs. And snow began to fall, which covered up anything the birds had left. Hansel and Gretel could not find their way home. Instead, they only wandered deeper into the woods. After 3 days of trudging in the snow without anything to eat, they were on the verge of dying of exposure when they came upon a small house. A white bird stood upon the roof in spite of the snow, and now and then pecked at it.
Peck, peck, peck.
So they realized that the entire house was made out of gingerbread, and the windows were made out of clear sugar. They were starving, of course, so Hansel helped himself to a chunk of the eaves, while Gretel broke off some of the window frame, which was made of frosting. Then a voice came from inside.
Nibble, nibble, little mouse. Who's nibbling at my house?
They answered, "It's only the wind which nibbles away at all things." But then Gretel poked her finger through the window in order to break off a piece of the clear sugar, and a witch suddenly came out of the house. Now you see, they could tell she was a witch because she was beautiful and young, but she moved carefully, like someone who had once been old. Now they expected her to be angry, but she was kind, or so she seemed.
You poor dears,
She said,
come into my house and sit by the fire, and you can have all the gingerbread and cake you like.
and she ate gingerbread and cake and pancakes, and soon they fell asleep, for they were exhausted.
Oh no.
But the witch, but the witch was only pretending to be kind to Hansel and Gretel. Really, she intended to cook and eat them. In fact, she had made the gingerbread house in order to lure someone to eat. For witches believe, I am told, that if you eat someone, you get their power.
What?
Hansel woke up in a cell made not of sugar, but iron bars and oak beams. And cry as he might, no help came to him. And the witch woke Gretel, saying,
Get up. Cook a nice meal for your husband, for he's to be fattened up.
So Gretel cooked up an omelette full of cheese and pancakes and biscuits. Biscuits for breakfast? Well, it might have been wonderful if it wasn't so evil. And the witch...
I got a key. This one.
And it's another brilliant day
Yep.
in Wellington Wells.
Shut up. Wait, what does this do? Oh. Wait, Nani? Oh, customs.
Welcome to Strange Foreign Customs, the show where Jack Worthing...
Okay, I think I'm going to end the stream. I'm sorry I haven't really been doing
people do in other countries.
like the actual game,
Let's start with
but I want to sleep
It's an
tonight.
Icelandic festival where you eat disgusting
So
food. Yes.
actually, let's face
Crisp,
this.
pickled ram testicles.
Oh no,
Seal
no,
flippers,
no, no, no,
whale
no,
blubber,
no,
and
no!
my
I'm not getting
favorite,
demonetized. I'm not getting
and-
demonetized. Well, see you guys tomorrow.